Good afternoon, beautiful people of planet Earth and all other interdimensional entities across the vortices of time and space and outer space and inner space and all dimensions of love, light and truth, holiness, positivity, benevolence to humankind. Just covering my bases there, people of Earth, don't like to tempt the gods. Just keep it all nice and kosher and upright and solid. Well, anyway, welcome to Titania's realm at Sacred Space. Or it's usually the other way around. Sacred Space at Titania's realm. I've been very busy today. I slept till 10. I actually got woken up by my lovely cleaning lady arriving at 5 to 10, just as well too. I haven't been able to use my CPAP mask for the last 2 nights because I've got a bit of a cold. I don't want to smother myself in my sleep, as did happen once, which was a bit frightening. Almost died that night. So anyway, that's because I didn't have the machine going though, so it was a different reason. But they tell you in the manual not to use it when you've got a congested blocked nose. So for similar reasons you can breathe through your mouth, but then I guess you draw more because you can't breathe, and it's all too gross and ugly, quite frankly. Who will marry me now with my CPAP mask that makes me look like the bride of Darth Vader? But don't worry, I don't want to be married anyway, so we're all good. We're all living happily ever after, strutting our stuff, doing our thing. Anyway, I woke up at 5 to 10 when my lovely cleaning lady arrived, and let her in, and I was rushing to put a dressing gown on because I slept naked as I usually do. It's getting a bit cool for that. I'll have to start wearing nighties. But anyway, gosh, why did I feel the need to tell my YouTube audience that? I have no idea. You can tell I'm not that well when I get a little bit boundaryless. Anyway, but that's right, that's why I wanted to tell. It was actually kind of comical. She's very fond of me. She's a lovely woman, respectable Muslim woman, devout, wears a hijab, and she's a good woman. So she arrives and I let her in. She said, "Oh, did you just wake up, Tanya?" I said, "Yes, you woke me up." "I'm sorry." I went, "No, it's okay. It's 10 o'clock. It's like, should have woken up ages ago." And I normally, on average, wake up around about between 7 and 7:30, when I'm travelling okay, don't have a cold. So I had a good long sleep last night. Anyway, so I'd thrown on this dressing gown on, but I hadn't tied it up properly, and it was bursting open, and I'm looking at it going, I'm unravelling, which usually is my code word for I'm spiralling mentally. But in this case, I literally was unravelling in my clothing, and we're women. She wouldn't see anything she hasn't seen before, but because she's a devout Muslim, I'm a Jewish heathen witch heretic, it just felt awkward exposing my nakedness to a religious person. So I'm struggling to put on my dressing gown, and she's laughing at me because I was actually kind of still asleep. I was like not quite synapsing on all 4 channels. I was functioning on 1 channel, but I hadn't fully engaged. So I'm fumbling with the cord to do up my dressing gown. And all I could think of was, thank God she's not a man. And I was even more awkwardly embarrassed because that fumbling, to a male would have looked like flirting, am I right? Oh, dear God. So then I said to her, "I'm unravelling, righty." I'm trying to do up my dressing gown. She just laughed at me. She's so sweet. She often laughs at my crazy, zany ways, which is good. You should laugh at them. They're not meant to be taken seriously. Even I can't always take myself seriously. So anyway, so I did that, and then I said, "Oh, I'll go and get dressed now." She said, "You can go back to bed if you want." I went, "No, I got to get organised. I got to get ready. I got to hit the ground running." So I wore this dress yesterday, so I threw it back on, clean underwear underneath, of course. And and I told her, she asked me how my weekend was, and did I go dancing, and I told her about my night out. She's fascinated because she's a devout Muslim woman, and she's respectable, and she's married. She doesn't have these rather wild, witchy experiences like I had of going out into the club scene and all the interesting things that happen, people I meet, and so she actually loves when I regale her with tales of how my nights went when I was out. So anyway, so we did that, and she got stuck into cleaning the bathroom, and I immediately got stuck into. I put my jeweler's apron on and my Optivisor, and after making sure that my birds had fresh water and yummy things to eat, I got stuck into working on my sterling silver cuff. And I got courageous today because it should have been done the last time. It's why the soldering didn't work, and the little gold balls melted and fell off and wouldn't solder down, and I had so much failure. 4 times. Insert a bleep in between the 4 and the times. Notice there was a slight pause. I try to keep it PG, I really do, but it's kind of hopeless. Anyway, so this time I thought, I need to do this job properly because every time I melt the gold down, I lose some. I'm running out of gold. And I need at least 2 butterflies to solder on each side of the cuff. So I spent the first hour or so till about midday when Rati finishes cleaning, working here. I spent the first 2 hours filing down the butterflies I'd made and finishing sawing them out, which is quite a task. And then from 12 to almost 3 p.m. I spent, so that's 3 hours. So I worked on it all up just under 5 hours because I did chat in the morning to Rati, so probably about 4.5 hours all up. What was I saying? Oh yes, I got these new tapered little tiny drill bits. I don't know what they're called, but they're long and they've got little sharp edges, and they're for cutting things back and slicing things back in silver or gold or metal. And I bought them a while ago on sale actually. I hadn't even used them yet. And it's like my muse, my angel, my whoever it is that helps me with my jewellery making in the last few months or probably the last few years, but they're really intensely guiding me now with inspirations. It popped into my head. It didn't actually say it, but I was shown those little tools. So use those. It'll scratch down the uneven bits of engraved silver, and then you can get it all level, and then it'll help you solder the butterfly embellishments down. And I thought, yeah, that's logical. That makes perfect sense. Well, it wasn't quite as simple as what was suggested because it was a fair bit of work, but 3 hours later, got it all ground down as level. I need to get it fairly level so that I fought with it a bit because I wasn't happy with they weren't quite sitting down completely right. But then I got hungry and I needed to buy food. I was like, damn it, I've got to go to the supermarket. I hate going to the supermarket. Hate it with a passion. Long time before COVID came along, but worse since the COVID epoch. I really dread going to the shops. Other people look forward to it. It's a highlight of their day, right? Not me. I walk around there thinking, I wish I wasn't here, I wish I wasn't here. Anyway, I spent a lot of money on groceries today buying frivolous things that I don't normally buy, which is a bit naughty. But I bought things like sticky date puddings and apple Was it apple pie? No, apple, something with apple. Apple crumble it was. And so I bought that and other yummy things. And then I came home and unloaded all my groceries, and then it looks like it's about to rain. The afternoon's gone to hell in a handbasket. Otherwise I would have put the birdies outside for an hour or two and started the soldering job on my little butterflies, getting them ready to solder them down. Because I've got to sweat solder, a spot of solder on each butterfly and then solder them down on the cuff. Oh, I'm so nervous because I can't afford to fail again, people. Like, I literally cannot afford to fail because of the gold situation and the amount of work that you put in, having to remelt the balls, smash them in the shot plate into butterfly shapes, saw them individually out, file all the rough edges. It's taken me 2 days again to replace the ones that I ruined last time. By the gods. Whenever I wear that bracelet, I'm going to look down and I'm going to take great pride in all the work I've put into it, including all the failures that led up to it finally being a piece of wearable art. And let's face it, it's rustic as fuck because my failures. It's a bit rustic. And then after I've soldered down the 2 little gold butterflies, I've still got to set the stone and hopefully not break or crack that, right? So I'm very nervous. It really is a labour of love and kind of a nerve-wracking thing because you never know if you're going to fail at the most crucial moment, like when you're about to complete the bloody task. But anyway, I'm sure it will be fine. I'm just worrying unnecessarily because my CPTSD and my generalised anxiety, am I right? Oh, I could have been a raging success if I didn't have mental health issues gifted to me by abusers in my childhood. Those evil, dirty cunts. Yes, I did say that out loud on YouTube, but don't worry, they'll never monetise me because I swear and I'm earthy and I'm real and I'm an anti-government revolutionary. What, me worry? Someone has to be real. Someone has to keep it real. Keep my human people alive and sparking on at least 3 or 4 channels, if not all 4. By the gods. Anyway, where was I? So anyway, I've done all that. I've had a productive day in spite of the fact that I slept in. And I'm happy about my cuff. I'm really happy about it. Like a child. Because every time I've failed at it and gone, you've seen a video last week or the week before, I had a breakdown. I went into the abyss. I was in the abyss, people going, it's never going to work out, I'm a failure, I'm useless, I'll never do it. These are old tapes placed in my mind by my mother and my ex-husband, by the way. Vicious they were. Absolutely vicious. And I'm still singing their theme tune. So I thought, no, fuck that, Tanya Aarons. You're going to go back in and you're going to solder it, the cuff together again, which by the way took me 2 days, and you're going to get it to look beautiful, and you're going to wear it in good health and in defiance against all your creepy motherfucking, yes, another swear word, enemies. And every time you wear it, you're going to think about all the hard work you put into it and your achievement, because it is an achievement of sorts, and it'll bring you luck and it'll remind you of who you are, a woman who's not useless at all, just a bit broken and damaged at times, and fighting her way back literally from the abyss. The more awful people, like happened on the 5th of April, put me down even for my choice of songs, which was really astonishing. especially since that entity knows that's my war cry and my song I regularly dance to. The more motherfuckers try to destroy me and put me down and take away what little bit of self-esteem and confidence I've managed to galvanise together over 6 decades, the more they do that, the more determined I get to make something of myself, babies, with harm to none and competition from none. So this bracelet that I've been working on, which ironically, magically, synchronistically, is made from 2 spoon handles from the Elven bridal bouquet, and is of a lovely little garden of lovely little flowers, and now I'm wanting to sew on butterflies. It's very symbolic of me pushing forwards and who knows, maybe finding a true loving partner one day. Don't want to get married. I repeat, I do not want to get married, but, it's kind of ironic that this thing that I'm fighting so hard to achieve is a bridal bouquet. But it's just a synchronicity, it doesn't mean anything in the broad scheme of things. Anyway, I'm going to be very excitedly wearing it when I complete it, and I don't know. I don't know whether I'll keep it or whether I'll gift it to someone. I'll probably keep it because it's a reminder of this last few months with all the vicissitudes and evil that got lashed out at me again. For what? For what actually? It's nonsensical. So it'll be a reminder, it'll be a symbol of Mama T overcoming all her enemies as she does every day in every way, just by merely existing in this crazy fakakta post-COVIDian world. So not just merely existing, but working on my bracelet and playing with my 2 new lovely little birdie boys. You can hear them twittering in the background. I need to tame them down so they can sit at my laptop with me like Charlie used to, and one on each shoulder, and probably hang off my hair and be little rascals like she used to do, because I think my YouTube audience used to enjoy that. Me complaining about shit in my hair and Charlie just swinging around doing her thing. Oh, I miss her. She was a lovely girl. Anyway, on that note, let me just have another swig of tea. And let us continue reading from Man, Myth and Magic, Volume 1. And the chapter, or the story, or what is it? The entry, and it's an encyclopedia. The entry. Today, on the 29th of May 2025, today's video is about All Hallows Eve. Before we begin, I'll show you the pictures. So here we have a picture of the sugar skulls of Mexico. What does it say? Sugared skulls at the Feast of All Souls, Mexico. I'd love to go to Mexico one day. I really would. And this one, which looks like an ink drawing or some kind of lino print, or I'm not sure how it's done. Witches and demons on their way to the Sabbath. That would be the Witches' Sabbath. Don't look like they're having a lot of fun there. One young woman's reaching down, pulling another beautiful young woman out of the abyss. Wow, it's a bit like that. She had to drag herself out of the abyss, didn't she? you fall into it with monotonous regularity when you come from as immense cumulative abuse as I have since early childhood. It's hard to stay up in the real world and actually stay out of the abyss and not slump into deep, deep depression and actually unalive oneself. I dislike changing our English language. It's offensive to me. To please what? Some AI entity that's not even human. So the word is suicide. Okay? But people pushing my buttons hoping